Okay, it's 7:32. I still have a few people logging in. Earlier, I announced that we are going to record this so that those who could not be with us tonight could still hear what we talk about. The idea of the Club Presidents Forum was something that District Governor Joe Collins wanted to provide for our club presidents, specifically because of the disconnect in COVID and wanting you club presidents to know what's going on in the district, to give you a community where you can discuss issues that you're having in your clubs. You know, one of the things I want to talk about tonight is how's it going if you're doing a hybrid? Is that working well for your Zoom people? So we do want to have group participation on this, and I do have some slides prepared to kind of keep us on track. But before we get started, I would like for everyone to introduce yourself, give me your name, your role. So like if you're club president or district foundation chair, your club, and then because Halloween's coming up, let me know what candy you would love to have in your trick or treat bag. So like if your kids or grandkids are going out trick-or-treating, what are you gonna hope that they get that you can help them eat? So we'll go with Woody. You're first, Woody. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I need to take myself off of, okay, I'm off of mute now. Yes.
Okay, introduce yourself to everybody.
Yes, Woody Collins. I'm the foundation chair for the Indianapolis Northeast Rotary Club.
What's your favorite candy?
Snickers. The mini Snickers.
Snickers. Awesome. Mark Harville, you're next.
All right. Mark Harville, Assistant District Governor, second year running, and sit on the District Foundation Committee as well. And my favorite candy, I gave up sugar a little over a year ago, so it has to be Kind sugar-free chocolate.
Oh, very good. Carol, you're next.
Hello, I'm Carol Price. I'm the president-elect for the Frankfurt Club and the foundation chair. And I just good old-fashioned Hershey chocolate.
Okay, Christine.
Hi, I'm the president of the Lafayette Noon Rotary Club, and I'd say probably go with Swedish Fish.
Okay, Ryan.
Good evening, everyone. Ryan Henry, President for Indianapolis East. Also image, media, and web chair for District 6560, and probably Kit Kat.
Kit Kat. All right. Now the next one says McNance's iPhone. Introduce yourself to us.
I'm Michael Nance.
Michael Nance.
Yeah, I'm the president of the Lebanon Club, and I would have to go with Fifth Avenue Bar.
Oh, nice choice. David Strand. You're muted, David. Okay, I'll go on. Max Ward, you're next.
Max Ward, I'm with the Shelbyville Rotary Club. I'm Assistant District Governor for Greenfield and Shelbyville. And Strawberry Twizzlers.
Strawberry Twizzlers. All right, Michelle.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
All right, Michelle Stuckey from the Attica Williamsport Rotary Club, and the club president, and Carmelo.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't heard that in a while. Steve.
Steve Leonard, District Grants Chair from Fishers, and I guess candy corn or M&Ms, either one will do just fine.
They're pretty good together too.
Well, the candy corn's good with peanuts.
Oh, yes, really good with peanuts. Amy.
I'm Amy Conrad. I'm president of Indianapolis Metropolitan, better known as Indy Metro, and probably Twix.
Twix, very good. All right, Doug, it says Ann Johnson.
I know,
but-
it's my wife's laptop. Okay, I'm president of Anderson Morning Club, and I was gonna say Peter Paul Mounds because that's the one with the coconut, but then when Steve said peanut M&Ms, that's a real toss-up there. That's hard.
That's true. Peanut M&Ms is good traveling food.
Mhm.
Alice.
I'm Alice McCoggin, a member of the Indianapolis Downtown Club. I'm the foundation chair, and I'd have to say M&Ms, and I have a new favorite M&M one. It's M&M Brownie in the middle.
Oh,
Just
very
saying.
nice. I'll have to look that one up. Okay, Ginger. You're on mute.
I was trying so hard not to do that. This is only my 4th Zoom meeting today. You think I'd have it down. Ginger Scott with the Greencastle Rotary Club, and my role at the club is co-foundation chair and treasurer. And payday.
Payday. Okay. Dave.
Yes.
We'll go with Dave Carter first and then back down to David Strand.
Okay. Dave Carter, and actually a member of the Noblesville Midday Rotary, assistant governor for Joe, Governor Joe, from the Muncie, used to be, I almost did that, the Noblesville Midday, the Noblesville Morning Club, and Sheridan's Club. And my favorite probably candy would be any and all dark chocolate.
All the above. Okay. David Strand, you're next. We can't hear you. You're on mute now. Do you have headphones? Because sometimes that helps. I'm going to go on to Jeff Lake. Jeff, you're next.
Hi, I'm Jeff Lake with the Rotary Club of Indianapolis, and I'm an assistant governor, and I'm also the district chair for the creation of new clubs. I kind of changed the title. Sorry, Joe. It just sounded better. And I'm with Mark Harville. Unfortunately, I've had to go to sugar-free for the last few years.
Before that, though, did you have a favorite?
M&Ms.
M&Ms.
Peanuts. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Douglas Bosworth is next.
Yes, I'm foundation chairman for Carmel Rotary Club, and I'd have to say M&Ms, especially if it's part of a trail mix.
Okay. So Joe, you're taking notes on this, right? So you know what kind of snacks to bring when you go visit them in person.
Looks like M&M Peanuts is winning out.
It certainly is. All right. Ray, you're next.
I'm Ray Cramp. I'm with the Carmel Club, and I'm also the district governor-elect, so I'll be succeeding Joe come July. Snickers is my favorite, like with Woody, but I have a little bit of a tooth problem, so I kind of gravitate back to Hershey's with almonds or M&Ms or all the road food, Twizzlers, any of it, all of it's good.
Yep, that's true.
So Joe, whatever you want to put in my Christmas stocking's good, man.
Small one. This close.
Okay, Bonnie, you're next.
Hi, Bonnie Hobbs with the Rockville Rotary Club, and I am past president, so I'm a fill-in. I'm also an AG this year.
And your candy?
Oh, Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Rolls, nice. Salim, you're next.
I'm sorry, I had to be sidetracked. What was it?
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh my goodness, Halloween candy. It's Crunch.
Nestle's
Rice
Crunch?
Crunch.
All right, now you have to tell us who you are and your role and your club. You're foundation chair and you're in the Carmel Club, right? Everybody knows Salim Najjar?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were introducing ourselves.
Yeah, we have been. I have a couple more people coming in. Go ahead, Salim. Tell them who you are.
Foundation chair.
All right, David Strand, are you ready? You're on mute from my screen.
All right, how's that?
That's much better.
All right, sweet. Yeah, my computer just absolutely shut down. Boink, done. David Strand, I'm with Daybreak Rotary in Lafayette, Assistant Governor for Area 2 with its Lebanon, Frankfurt, and the 2 Lafayette clubs. And my candy bag better have a Toblerone in it.
Toblerone, all right. Greg Harbison has just joined us. Greg, we're having people go around, introduce their name, their role, what club they're with, and their favorite Halloween candy.
I'm Greg Harbison. I'm current president of the Rockville Rotary Club. My favorite Halloween candy, anything chocolate.
You're in the right group. Everybody here mentioned something chocolate or something with peanuts in it, very near chocolate. M&M's has so far been the winner. My name is Jennifer Stanfield. I am your moderator for your club president forum, and I'm the assistant governor coordinator, as well as the annual fund subcommittee chair of the District Rotary Foundation. And my candy that I cannot resist is a Reese's peanut butter cup. And I think that's everyone. Did I miss anybody other than our district governor? Okay, Joe, what's your favorite candy?
I'd have to go with Hershey almonds as well. The M&M peanuts would be a close second, or almost anything with chocolate. But as George Burns said, you've got to be honest here. If you fake it, you've got it made.
Say that again, because you broke up on us. George Burns said, if you got to be honest, and then what?
You've got to be honest. If you fake that, you've got it made. So we all have to pick the correct candy. Good job.
That's right. Okay, well, tonight we've got several topics we want to talk about. I do know the Greencastle Club, what they did for World Polio Day. I know what the Crawfordsville Club did, because that's my club. I better know what we did. And if there's anyone else who'd like to share about World Polio Day, I'm going to share my screen so you can kind of see what our agenda is going to be for tonight. Let's see. Click share, just like Ginger. I don't know how many. All right. Can you see where it says Club Presidents Forum?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no music. I'm sorry, David. I promised you music and I didn't do that. But here we go. Oops. Got to click on the right thing. So tonight's topics. November is Foundation Month. We want to ask kind of, a few people what you did for World Polio Day in light of COVID. We want to talk about the mid-year conference and awards program, the annual fund, define the Paul Harris Society, talk about the Paul Harris Fellows with matching points campaigns, club meetings. I'm really curious. We've been trying to put together a spreadsheet of all of our clubs, whether they're meeting in person, virtual, or hybrid, and how that's working. New member orientation. What does your club do? And we're bringing this up because we've had a club where we've had some issues with a member that has been there just a short time. They put him on the board. He was very active, but because there wasn't really a structured new member orientation, there were some violations with the code of conduct, and the new member had never seen the code of conduct. So we want to make sure that all of our clubs are following some sort of orientation so that we know who we are as Rotarians and how we're different from other clubs. And then finally, we want to talk to you about the governor's calendar. So we've come up with a way that we can populate the governor's cell phone with a Google Calendar, and Ginger Scott is on tonight to talk to you guys about if you can get your social events and things that you're doing for your club onto Ginger's email, which we'll give that to you, then it will automatically populate our district governor's cell phone, and he doesn't have to sit at his desk and look at the DACTB calendar. Just one of the ways we're trying to help during this pandemic to be better in our communication opportunities. So, World Polio Day. Let's see, Ginger, you're on. Would you mind telling us? I know that in the past, your club has done a chocolate and wine tasting for World Polio Day, but that was something that you wouldn't be able to do because of COVID limitations. The first year you did it, I went and I think you raised $1,000 because the hospital underwrote most of the cost, and you supported local businesses in Greencastle to do this. And how much money were you able to raise that first year?
The first year we raised right around just under 1,500. And then the second year we raised, net after net, we raised 1,500. And our goal, so that was our goal. It was $1,000 the first year. We surpassed the goal of the $1,000, and $1,500 was our goal last year. So it was like $1,550. Thanks to Putnam County Hospital for underwriting us, and Putnam Inn Family Restaurant and our local candy place for helping us with the chocolates. But as you mentioned, we with COVID, so we couldn't get together in the restaurants. And our president, who's very creative, to do something on the same lines for this year, we had a drive-up brunch. So we had brunch to go to end polio. So we partnered with Almost Home Restaurant, and they put a cinnamon roll, a fruit cup, champagne, a small bottle of champagne, and an orange juice in the bags. And then we also put a card in there that talked about how the polio monies were spent, the monies that they donated for their ticket. How is that money spent? So we charged $20 a ticket, and we raised about just shy of $1,100, or shy of $1,200. And we're hoping by the end of the meeting on Wednesday that we'll have some other donations and reach our goal of $1,200, because we did lower it due to COVID this year. But it worked out well. Our goal was to sell 100 tickets, and we sold that. That was what we knew we could manage. And in 2 hours, we passed out 100 bags of brunches that were mighty tasty. And as District Governor Joe can attest to.
Yes, I heard he was there.
Yes.
So the thing that impressed me about that is you guys decided a way to still get it done despite the limitations. But what I've also noticed is you guys have done an amazing job of getting the word out in your social media.
Right.
Did you also have it like in paper, or what other ways did you share the message of World Polio Day in Greencastle?
We, as you mentioned, our Facebook, and then we have 2 papers here in Putnam County, the Banner Graphic and the Hoosier Topics. So we put all that out there. The city of Greencastle, the mayor proclaimed World Polio Day, so we had a proclamation. They put that out on the city website and also out on their Facebook page. Most of our members did emails to their friends, so we got things like that. I would say probably our Facebook page and the newspaper was probably our biggest hits of where we got the information. But you know, anytime you get World Polio Day and Rotary out, regardless of what the media is a good thing.
That's great. I really like the fact that you got your mayor involved. So these are all great ideas for you guys to implement in your clubs as well. Bonnie, would you mind talking about Rockville Club? I also noticed your social media about what you were doing for World Polio.
We set up a rummage sale at our garden, our community garden, which we purchased the community garden just a little over a year ago. And it has a clubhouse and a nice yard area besides the garden area. And so we set up a big rummage sale out on the yard area and had plenty of parking. And we actually, what we did was we were doing a combined raising fundraiser plus collecting contributions for polio and advertised it as such. And we raised over, with our club contribution, over $800 for polio. And the rummage sale raised like $1,500 for the club. So it was very successful. It was just 2 days that we did it, and the club members donated things for the sale. And so we had a large variety and good quality and quantity of items to sell. And it was beautiful 2 days, and it was very, very successful. We had it the first weekend of the normal Covered Bridge Festival, which 90% of the cars that pulled into the parking lot were from Illinois or out of town. So that helped that we, planned it for that particular weekend. And I thought it went very, very well.
Good. That's taking advantage of an opportunity. Even though the Covered Bridge Festival is one of their big fundraisers, they still did something, and those out-of-towners who didn't know it was canceled got to participate in that rummage sale. Anybody else want to share what you did for World Polio Day? Okay, you guys can send me private messages, chats on here so that I know if you want to share something. So I want to go back and share the screen. Does everyone know why we call it purple pinky for polio? Do you know what the reference for that is? I'm seeing some people say no. Joe, would you mind sharing what the purple pinky means?
It's very difficult to see who has been immunized when we go into communities. I visited Kanpur, India in particular, for a polio immunization day. So each time a young child is immunized, their little finger is dipped into an inkwell, and that signifies that they have had the immunization. This has been going on since 1979. It was a way to identify youth that they have or have not been immunized.
So what I've seen some districts do is they'll sell Long John donuts, and I think, I'm drawing a blank here, a chain of donut shops. Gosh, why can't I think of it? Dunkin' Donuts, thank you. They do like the Long Johns with a purple icing on the end to represent the purple pinky of polio. So I'm a relatively new Rotarian. I had no clue why we had a purple pinky, and I just thought that was really cool that that's how they know who's been immunized, is whether or not they have the purple pinky. Okay, so back to my
question, Joe. How long does that purple stay on the finger? I mean, how do they know that the kid had not been immunized 6 months ago?
It doesn't stay on that long, Salim, and you're not immunizing the community more than 8 to 10 days. You're in and out. So it's a really a crunch time, and you know the kids that are there that you've had the opportunity to reach out to. The problem we have are in rural villages, they were hiding their children. So we were searching out those children who had not received that pinky, purple pinky.
Okay, so next I want to talk about mid-year conference. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. It is on the calendar for Saturday, November 21st. Joe, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I fired a shot across the bow, 2 days ago, and sent out a mark a calendar type event, just so everyone would know ahead of time. We've been told by Evanston, by Rotary International, not to hold events through the end of the year. It's one of the reasons I'm not able to visit clubs for the normal club meetings. We did go ahead with the Renaissance Hotel in Carmel. Today, I did cancel that, and we are going to move to a 100% virtual conference. We just can't jeopardize with what we've had happen this last week with the increase in the coronavirus. We can't put people at risk. We couldn't face ourselves if that were to happen. So the agenda is pretty well put together, looking to have an outside speaker or two, talk about the grant management situation, since this is an obligatory session for grant receiving in July next year. To apply for the grants, you must have a representative at this mid-year conference. So we will have that covered. We will probably record it as well, and make reference to the site that has the training module on it. But we have, I did cancel today the in-person conference, and we will be 100% virtual. We'll be on the 21st, tentatively at 10:30 a.m. and be finished by noon.
Okay,
We'll have
so
any questions?
it'll be rather short. I think you said it'll start at 10:30, but the agenda that I saw, it starts a little bit earlier than that. But there'll be an invitation to everyone in the email,
Yes.
right? And then
Yes.
It'll be on the DAC-DB calendar. But do mark Saturday, November 21st.
And excuse me, did you say we have to have at least one club representative log on to that virtually to qualify for grants next year?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That's nothing new. That's something we've had each year, and we just want them to understand how the process works. Steve has put this together for several years. He's done a great job in promoting and presenting the program, but we just want people to understand the process and how the money matches, and it's a very basic go through, very easily done, not complicated at all, but we just want people to participate by club.
Right. So if you don't participate, I mean, that's how we know who's eligible for district grants, is if you do participate. So now we're going to move on to the Rotary Foundation. November is Foundation Month. And I am serving as your annual fund chair if you need a speaker in your clubs. I'm already booked for a couple of clubs, but I have a pretty open calendar. The annual fund is the way that we give back to our communities. So there's a lot of different ways you can give to the Rotary Foundation. And the drum that I beat is the annual fund. There's lots of other ways that you can do this, but tonight I want to talk about some of the things that I get a lot of questions as annual fund contact person. The annual fund, giving to that returns to our district for club projects. It supports today's local needs. And if you attend the district grants management training, your club is eligible to apply for the current year's grant cycle. The Paul Harris Society is another thing that you hear a lot about in conjunction with Paul Harris Fellows. They're somewhat different. The Paul Harris Society is anyone who gives at least $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. You don't automatically belong to the Paul Harris Society. You have to fill out the application and turn it in. And it's for Rotarians who desire to give $1,000 a year to the Rotary Foundation. And then there is a pin for recognition on Paul Harris Society membership. And I know there are a couple of people who are Paul Harris Society members on this call tonight. Does anybody want to add to what a Paul Harris Society member is or does?
As far as what we do, we just contribute.
You give money, well, you get recognition as a
Right,
Paul
you
Harris
get
Society member.
But there are no responsibilities during the year as far as that's concerned.
And it's, from everything I've read, it's someone who basically pledges to give $1,000. So if something were to come up and you couldn't do the $1,000, it doesn't mean you're kicked out of the society. But there are a lot of us that are eligible to be Paul Harris Society members because we've given $1,000 a year. And it's just one other way that the foundation wants to honor their contributors and their donors and show them some appreciation. So a Paul Harris Fellow is anyone who's given $1,000 to the annual fund of the Rotary Foundation. Non-members can be Paul Harris Fellows. Has anyone, any club on the line, have you given a Paul Harris Fellow recognition to a non-Rotarian in your community?
Jennifer.
Rockville Club gave one to Governor Evan Bayh.
Cool. Dave Carter, what were you going to say?
We did a project in Guatemala, and with Seeds of Help, and the organization there. Actually, the president of Brownsburg and myself took our points and gave him honor of the foundation.
Mhm. So anytime dollars are given to the Rotary Foundation's annual fund, there are points that you accumulate, and that's how we get those matching points. So if you've given $2,000, you're a Paul Harris Fellow +1. That means you've given $1,000 plus another $1,000. The Paul Harris Fellow recognition goes all the way up to Paul Harris Fellow +8. That's $9,000. And when we do our matching points campaign, you get double the recognition. So a minimum of $100 can be matched, or a minimum of 100 points can be given either to a non-Rotarian or to a fellow Rotarian to work towards their Paul Harris Fellow recognition. Anyone is eligible to receive points that has not already attained Paul Harris Fellow +8. That's the highest you can go. Major donors get their recognition for actual dollars that are given. So it's not a combination of points and dollars for a major donor. They've actually given $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. Your club foundation chair and myself as the district annual fund chair can answer any more detailed questions about that, but there are very few limitations on who you can give your points to, and the Rotary Foundation link on myrotary.org is where you find those reports to know where you are. I know that there were a couple of clubs this past year that turned 100 years old, and I know the Crawfordsville Club was one of them, and we had individuals donate their points, and we had club points to where we could receive the 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club recognition, which is just one time in the lifetime of your club that you can do that. And so our board decided that we wanted to do that for our club's 100th anniversary. Did anybody else receive 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club status?
Jennifer, you asked earlier if any of our clubs have given Paul Harris Fellowship to non-Rotarians.
Yes.
Douglas Bosworth of our club's foundation chair speak to you on that.
Okay.
Well, I've only been foundation chair for a couple months, so I'm not. So Salim, why don't you?
Well, I actually attended a Carmel Club meeting where you gave a Paul Harris Fellow recognition, I believe, to your fire chief.
Well, we give it to the Rotary Outstanding Service Award recipient who is not a Rotarian every year. So
yeah. Also, Salim, from time to time, we've identified, selected some people in the community that we've given a special one. Like, for example, Bob Zare from the mansion where we used to be, we awarded him one for his support of the club where we used to meet, and a couple of firms that helped us with Carmel Fest from time to time. So we have done that over the years.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way to recognize service in non-Rotarians. And like District Governor Joe Collins was saying, the Rockville Club gave one to Governor Evan Bayh for his service to Indiana. So go ahead.
Jennifer, I believe that Attica Williamsport just a few years ago achieved that 100% Paul Harris Club designation.
Yeah, they did. Anderson did their 100th year. Seems like there have been some others, but I just can't bring them to my mind at the moment. But anyway, the matching points campaign is for those Rotarians that want to work towards their Paul Harris Fellow recognition.
Jennifer,
hey, yeah,
that's right. This is Jeff Lake. One question that I hear come up occasionally is if someone writes a check to the Rotary Foundation, but they don't indicate what it's for, they leave it blank. They don't put in the memo, annual fund, end polio now. They just leave it blank. Where does that go?
Well, if it comes to me, I make sure it goes to the annual fund. If it goes to their foundation chair will probably contact them and ask them where they want that money to go to. But if they send it directly to the Rotary Foundation, it's my understanding, and I could be wrong on this, that it goes just into the Rotary Foundation general giving. It's not earmarked for annual fund versus polio versus the World Fund. Salim, is that correct?
I don't think so. I think if it's not designated otherwise, it does go to the annual fund for that district.
Okay, good. I'm glad you asked that, Jeff, because I didn't know the answer to that question. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Rotary Club Central.
Hey, Jennifer.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's Michael Nance from Lebanon.
Yeah.
We had a deputy sheriff that was killed a couple years ago in the line of duty. And I'm just thinking, as I'm hearing everyone speak, I'm wondering if he was killed in March. I'm wondering if this coming March, if as a club we could raise the funds to make him a Paul Harris Fellow in memorandum. Is that something that can be done?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Or you can use your points.
Yes, club points.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you here in a little bit where you can find your club points. Okay. On Rotary Club Central, so I'm going to share a different screen with you. Sorry, I'm not really fast on this. Okay. When you go to rotary.org, you have to create your own username and password. It's not automatically done for you like DACDB does. So you have to create your own. And then when you go to rotary.org, then there is a place where, so like if I go to Rotary, I'll try not to show you anything secret. This is the page that you get. And if you scroll down, you see your club's information here. And in the middle, there's the announcements. There's online tools right here. Now you're going to click Rotary Club Central if you want to do that, or you can go to the Learning Center to find out more information about your role in Rotary. I have saved some quick links. So my district giving reports are here. My donor history report is there. But I've saved
Jennifer,
them.
Jennifer,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing your screen. All I see is Rotary Club Central.
Oh. Thanks for telling me that. Let me go back and see what's going on here.
I can see it. I can see it.
Me too.
Maybe it's me.
Okay, let me go back. Try to refresh your screen since I'm showing that I'm showing you the Rotary.org website.
I see it too.
Okay, so on Member Center, do you see how it populates when you click over here? There's all these other things to the left-hand side that you can look at. News and media, all kinds of things to look at. Now, I subscribe under news and media, I subscribe to some e-newsletters that I find beneficial. They keep me informed of what's going on in Rotary. So here's manage my subscriptions. And then these come to my email. Apologize for the slowness. So I've checked these things, and of course, English language for me, the different newsletters that I want to receive. You see all those different ones? And then you can always opt out if you want to, or you can change any of those. And then you get things to your email that are specific to maybe your role or more information that you want to have. So let me go back to, come on. I have really fast internet, so I know it's not me. Let's go to this page. This is the one that I found today, Raise for Rotary. I'd like you to take a look at that, you know, in your spare time, but it's all about getting out social media fundraisers. Okay. And it shows you some of them that have already been done, but I just found this one today. So Member Center, I want to go to Online Tools. Ugh. We'll get there. Online Tools, this section, Rotary Club Central. We're going to click on that. And I've been off of it too long, so now I got to log back in. This is where you're going to input your club goals. And I sent an email to all the club presidents letting them know about this. Now, I'm going to see a lot more than what you will because I'm an assistant governor. But over here on the far left in the dark blue, it says Goal Center. Click on that. And then you can see these goals. And notice there's tabs up here at the top: foundation giving, service, young leaders, public image, or you can click all. And then that way you can see them all. So for my Crawfordsville Club, I don't have anything in service. So if I want to add, I would click edit. And then I'm going to add, select the goal first. And then you can add what your goal is in there. But I would like for everybody tonight, if you could, at least put in your club membership goal. Our club's goal is 45. Right now we have 43. So you go back and save it then once you've put in what your goal is. The other thing I want to show you here is service activities. Oh, do I want, yes, I want to leave because I don't want to mess up what my club president is doing. Service activities. Now you see there's a year here. If I want to look at last year, and notice it's add or repeat. And so if you have a project that you do continually, like this one, little libraries, we do that, you know, from year to year. It's not one that was just done last year, but we're going to continue it. So I'm going to click repeat past, and then it populates right here. And then, has anyone done these before where you put in what it is and then your start and end date and who, numbers of volunteers and that sort of thing? Anyone want to answer kind of what that's been like for you trying to put this information in? Has it been pretty easy?
I have a question, Jennifer.
Yes.
We have not done this before, and so I'm curious, where does this information go, and how does it help?
Right. So when you're putting in your service activities, and then we go back over to Goal Center, it will populate this service tab as you are doing that. Where it goes is to your district leaders to show your club's goals, what you want to do this year, but it also goes to Rotary International when they do their reporting of how many service hours our club members have done. So if we put nothing in there, then the information that Rotary International gives out doesn't include all the many service hours or all the other information that we put in the Goal Center. They're not able to report that accurately because we didn't put the information in. The other thing is it helps the district governor see if you guys are on task, if there's something that you might need help with that he can help you with. There's general resources here that will show you how to set a goal and how to track your progress, to report your progress. Lots of different things in here to help you with that, and I'm willing to help anybody. I've done it over the phone a couple of times with other club presidents. But down here at the bottom, the Rotary Club citation, that's really where a lot of this stuff goes to. It helps you know, and see, it says, we're sorry, we can't do this right now. I have sent to the club presidents that Rotary citation, and every year the Rotary International president issues the citation to clubs that have achieved their goals. So when I was club president, we had to do like a list of 5, complete 2 of the 5, and here's a list of 7 and do 3 of these 7, and just, it was a lot of different things to do. And this year Holger Connect has put out 25 different things, which is a much smaller list than we've had in the past, and he's asking that the clubs achieve 13 items on that list in order to receive the club citation. And it's one way that a club president knows that they've had a successful year, because these are, I'm sure you've heard in your business, SMART goals. These are the measurables. These are how we know that we were successful this year in a way that we can count. There's a lot of things that we can't count that make us successful, but these are the measurables. And so the training that we did for the presidents-elect, we talked about how important it is to do more than just 13, because if you choose, say, club growth as one of your 13, and at the last hour, somebody drops out and you don't meet that goal, then you've missed the citation by just one little thing. So it's important to do more than 13 of those 25 so that you can, you know, achieve that citation.
Okay, that helps.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've always had goals in a system, but I don't think that we've ever filled it out in Rotary Club Central. I'm not sure.
Willing, yeah, I'm willing to help do that.
Hours. Okay.
So I'll tell you, when I was president, Bryce Adam was district governor, and he called me the last week of the Rotary year, and he said, Jennifer, I noticed that Crawfordsville doesn't have any goals entered. And I'm like, where am I supposed to put that? So, I mean, I'd been told probably 6 or 8 times to do it. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll do that when I get time. Well, here it is, the final hour. And he would not hang up the phone until I logged on, and he goes, okay, now do this, now click here, now do that. And you've done this. And I'm like, oh, okay. And we earned the Rotary citation that year. But I have a feeling that we probably could have earned that citation every year. We just didn't, we didn't follow directions. So, I think it's important. I think it's one of the things, you know, that the club can then go back and look and see that they were successful, that they did the things that the international defined as things that make you a successful and strong and a vibrant club. Anybody else have anything to add to Rotary Club Central? Okay. So these are some of the things that I showed you that you can do. Under the Rotary Foundation tab is where you find your foundation reports for your club, to know how many points you have, to know how many points you can donate, to know, I'm not sure if as club president you can see as much as the club foundation chair can see. But that's, and I can help you with that as well. Club meetings, how's it going? So I'll tell you, the Crawfordsville Club, what we're doing is hybrid, and I'm running the Zoom, and we're having a bit of difficulty getting the people that are in person understanding that if they don't talk in the microphone, the people on Zoom cannot hear them. Anybody else having that issue?
Yeah, we're doing hybrid as well. What we do is we have 2 computers. We have somebody running the computer for the projection. We have a computer up at our podium. And so we always just tell anybody up at the podium that if somebody in the audience speaks, that they need to repeat whatever the person in the audience said, so that the people on Zoom know what the person at the podium is responding to. So we've just gotten in the habit of doing that. Anybody in Zoom land needs to only chat their conversation to the moderator that's operating the projection computer, and then that person will manage that conversation between, you know, whoever's up at the podium or whatever. So we don't unmute them during the meeting, and that seems to be going pretty well.
Okay.
Shelbyville is in person, and I can report that Greenfield has a hybrid. They have about, maybe a dozen each meeting that's on Zoom.
Our
Hello,
club,
Jennifer.
I'm sorry, Doug, go ahead.
Anderson Morning, most of our members are still a little nervous about going back in person yet, so we're just all Zoom. In fact, where we used to meet at 7 a.m., we think they're not open till 8 now, which hurts some of our membership anyway if we try to go back. But we're doing Zoom. We were doing it every 2 weeks right at the very beginning, and then it got too confusing. So now we're doing it once a week, but we have lost numbers. We're not getting the numbers that are connecting that we did at the beginning. I mean, they're still club members, but they're just not logging on to meetings.
So we're getting a lot of people commenting over in the chat. Make sure you're reading some of those. And those of you that have chatted to me privately, I am reading those. I just couldn't see them while I was sharing my screen. I noticed that Lafayette, I think, Christine, are you using Teams as opposed to Zoom?
No, we're using Zoom.
Okay. I think on DACDB, there was a club that listed Teams as Microsoft Teams as opposed to Zoom.
That was Noblesville Midday.
Oh, is that who it was? How is that working, Dave?
It's working. It's working okay.
So does everyone have a Microsoft account in order to participate in Microsoft Teams?
That I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you that answer.
With Google, there is a free Zoom-like experience called Google Meet. So some of your clubs who want to experiment with that and don't want to have to pay for Zoom, because the free Zoom, I think it only lasts 20 minutes and then it kicks you off. But Google Meet is something you can do through Google, Gmail, that kind of thing. Anybody else using something other than Zoom for your hybrid or in-person or virtual meetings?
Jennifer, we have Zoom three Fridays out of the month, and then on one Friday of the month, we meet in person.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, the Downtown Indie Club is hybrid, and Woody Collins, I think, is on the line. Woody, are you there? Woody's in the Indie Northeast Club.
Here, Jeff.
Yeah, tell them how you do your hybrid, which is a little fancier than some.
Yeah, what we have worked so far to date, we use Zoom, and and it's been going really well. We have more people that's on the calls, including the hybrid, together than we typically have at an in-person meeting. So it's really worked out where people who, even Tom Branham, when he was in the hospital, he did his Zoom calls from his hospital bed, which was, it gave everybody a chance to say hello and things like that. But one of the things that we found out to get around Zoom, to use it effectively, we have one person to call in the meeting, in the in-person meeting, and we use that telephone as a microphone. So therefore, we can make sure that when we do happy bucks or something where we want to, even with the speaker, we give the phone to the speaker, and that picks up as another person as it would in a normal conversation. So then it's broadcasted to everybody. So that seems to work out well, and we still trying to perfect how everybody in the meeting can hear, but everybody in Zoom land can hear real well. But sometime in the actual meeting, we can't hear what some of the people have said. So we're trying to work out how to use speakers without having an echo. But it's been working out really well, and we've been excited that we've been able to train people that normally, you know, like I say, from Tom and a couple of you down in Florida who's vacationing, they've been able to participate in meetings that without Zoom we would not have had those people to participate.
So those of you that are using anything for virtual meetings, do you have your meeting on the DACDB calendar with the link to join? Because some clubs have put it out there, but they've said on the calendar, contact a member for the Zoom ID and password. So as a district leader, when I'm looking to join another club, that's another hoop we have to jump through to try to figure out, well, who's a club member. And really only Rotarians are going to have access to DACDB. I don't think you have to worry about somebody photobombing your club meeting. If you put it on DACDB with your password and your meeting ID, it'd be very helpful for Rotarians from other clubs to zoom into your meetings. Like Woody was saying, it doesn't matter where you are when we're meeting virtually, you can join in on anybody's club. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about as far as club meetings go is your new member orientation. And I did mention this briefly at the beginning. It's very important with your new members. I know we want to build our membership numbers, but we want to grow Rotarians. We want people that understand the Rotary way. And your new member orientation is very important. A sponsor is very important. Somebody that can come alongside that new member and let them know how we behave in a way that puts service above self. Because like I said, we did have a club where the club members kept telling this one member that he wasn't following the 4-way test by telling the truth. And he was like, but it is truth, it's my truth. But if they had gone by the code of conduct where it says, I will not behave in a way that adversely affects Rotary or a fellow Rotarian, then he would have clearly seen that he was not operating in a way that was beneficial to all concerned. So the code of conduct is really important for you to make sure that your new members understand, maybe even use that as you're swearing in. But I know in my Crawfordsville club, we tend to be a little less formal, and we do that sponsorship as our new membership orientation. We don't really have a class or a process. And I know some of the bigger clubs, you have provisional members before they become members. And I would like for somebody to talk about what you do in your club to make sure that you have vetted a new potential member as a Rotarian.
Jennifer, we've made an active effort over the last year to really emphasize the values of Rotary to anyone before they even join. Like, this is what Rotary does as an organization. We help to improve the lives of others, and that means we look for new opportunities to do that in the community. So kind of before even a conversation with someone starts about joining, we kind of gauge feedback from them and hear about what they're already doing in the community. And that's been very beneficial to us, both in making sure we're finding great members to join, but that at the same time, as they join, we're looking for ways to integrate what they care about into the club so that they feel engaged and valued as a member. And, you know, just it creates a really nice vibe and energy.
Great, that's wonderful. I like that you're finding out what things that they need. that they want to engage in. That's really great. I know some people have to leave. We are on now a full hour. We started at 7:30. One of the things I did want to make sure that as your club leadership, we are going to do a matching points campaign, and it will be announced at the mid-year conference. But we wanted you to have the heads up so that you know about the matching points campaign. Joe, do you want to fill them in on some of the details on that?
As you mentioned, Jennifer, a contribution of $100 or more will get you 100 matching points. And none of us are in it for the points, I hope. But some people, they're incentivized by seeing the points accumulate in the fund. So we are going to do it in the month of November, Foundation Month, and it's already out in the newsletter this month, so you'll see it regardless. But it has been successful in the past. I'm not a points kind of guy, but I will do it during the month of November.
So you can let your clubs know that there will be matching points, that they can, throughout the month of November, we will be keeping track of that. The final thing I wanted to bring up tonight was the governor's calendar. And I talked about that briefly at the beginning, but not everybody was on yet. We've created a Google Calendar for district events that will populate the governor's cell phone. So when you serve as district governor, you're on the road a lot. So you're not sitting at your computer, and the DAC-DB calendar, I have not been able to find a way to access it through the mobile DAC-DB. So if you can get your club's fundraisers, events, socials, things that you think the district governor would like to participate in, if you can get that information to Ginger Scott. Ginger, what's your email address?
Is gscott@wabashcapital.com, and that's WABASHCAPITAL.com.
Okay. And if you look for the Greencastle Club, Ginger Scott, or if you look for Ginger Scott on your Find tab on DAC-DB, you can find her. She's going to be compiling your club's social events and fundraisers so that it populates Joe's phone and he knows what's going on in the district. So if you want him there, make sure Ginger knows about it so that she can put it on his calendar. Are there any other questions or anything that you want to discuss tonight?
Jennifer, I do have one question on the matching points. Joe kind of faded out there. That's $100 if it's $100 to a certain dollar amount, or just $100?
$100 maximum, regardless of the contribution.
Maximum, okay.
Wait.
That's
We're going to match 100 points.
Correct.
That's all we're going to do. We're not going to go up to like 5,000 or anything. It's because it's a minimum of 100.
We're just going to give 100.
Oh,
right.
100? We're just going to give 100.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. More information in the newsletter on that.
Yes. Something Jennifer talked about, and we talk about foundation giving, and with our DDF fund this last year, we were able to contribute back to 27 different grants. 20 clubs applied for 27 grants. Indianapolis East had 3, the most of any club. But we had contributed $114,000 into these matching grants, which the district then matched that for $228,000. But those projects totaled $636,000 to go back to the communities. This is a major item. So it is something that, yes, we're using matching points and we're doing different things with our dollars, but when we contribute to the foundation, we're seeing it coming right back to our communities.
Okay, Ginger has, oh, she's applauding. I thought you had your hand up.
No.
I'm looking at some of these, there's so many, you guys are great at all your comments. One person wants to know, is it just for the month of November that we're doing matching points? Okay.
Foundation month.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's all I have for tonight. I know it was a lot. I did record it, so you can go back and look at it. And I will have this in the DAC-DB district folder, you'll find everything that I do, I put there so that anyone can see it later.
Jennifer, if I may have a question for Ryan Henry.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think when Joe is talking, there's a little bit of an echo and an interruption back and forth some of the time. Is there something that he can do to his microphone to improve that?
I can tell you what his problem is. It's his internet speed. He and I have talked about this many times. Joe, open the wallet and get some more internet speed.
Joe, the easiest way to solve that is to direct connect with an Ethernet cable to your modem. So most people use the factory or the default box that they give you from, you know, Comcast or AT&T. They're junk. If you have to use wireless, go get yourself a nice wireless router. Otherwise, use an Ethernet cable and plug directly into your device. You'll get the full speed.
All right, thank you.
And Joe, I'll make sure that the treasurer will reimburse you for that too.
I just increased my internet speed. It cost me $20 more a month, and now I've got to do this. All right.
Joe, what's your home internet speed now? What are they getting you for?
I don't have a clue. You're way out of my
It's
league.
very little, Ryan. My husband's talked with him, and he just needs to have a bigger internet, and that's all.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're in a rural area, Joe?
No.
Oh. Well, this is where we really, as Rotary, should be advocating for better broadband access for rural areas.
Yes.
We have a lot of them in Indiana, and imagine the problems you're having tonight, thousands of teachers are having trying to desperately help their students.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I want to thank everybody for their time this evening. We've had another great discussion, and this being November, Foundation Month. The foundation does transform our gifts, and in doing so, it provides service projects that change lives, both close to home and around the world. So I do want to thank you for your participation in the foundation. The recognition that we get for doing so is minor versus what's in our hearts today for the kids and the families we serve. So thank you very much.
Joe, say that again. We didn't hear you very well.
Glenn, why don't you repeat that for me? You know it by heart. I've got to buy a 200-foot cable and take it all the way around to my entry box.
I didn't know they still had AOL.
Go buy yourself the bulk cable. Well, you have hardware stores. Get the bulk like 300-foot box and the caps. It's $35 versus $300.
So listen, guys.
My dog will love that.
I appreciate you letting me postpone our meeting with my father-in-law's passing. I just want to let you know that my father-in-law was a Mason, and I was very surprised at his funeral Friday in Lafayette. Is our district governor serving the Masonic rites. And I want to thank you for doing that, Joe. It meant a lot.
It's what we do.
Thank you all.
Thank you. We'll see you all soon. Thank you very much.
Good night, folks.
Thank you.
All right.